Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Hall podcast. Almost said podcast. We're glad you are back watching, listening, whatever it is you do. We've got a lot of exciting things happening with the podcast, and we'll jump into that in a minute. But I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. It was a lot of fun to have Pastor Mark and Michael on here. We just talked about friendship and then jumped into a little bit of religion. And I'm actually going to have them on again. If you don't know this about them, which I talked about in the last episode, their friendship started over food. They love to cook. They love trying new things. And so that's kind of how it bonded, was with food. And so I'm actually going to have them on in a future episode. And it'd probably be like a portable location. But they're going to cook something up. And, we're going to kind of sit around and eat and cook and do an episode. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch last week's episode on the YouTube channel. And two, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go to there. All you need is a Gmail account. If you have a Gmail account, go to YouTube, subscribe. It'll help us out a lot. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I'm at 36, so it would help me if you went and did all that. Today's episode, you already know, is brought to you by TR Group. Check it out, the hat, Alex City. Let me get it in the focus. There it is. TR Group, Alex City. Got the hat. I can't wear the hat today. I got the hair fluffed back, but I'll leave it right here. These guys, I appreciate everything they do for the show. You met Michael last week. So every time I talk about Michael, that's what I'm talking about. And so you met him last week. He is the general manager over at TR Group, Alex City. Great people. Katie and I are actually, hope in the second half of this year, looking to upgrade the whip. Get us a new car. She wants something a little bigger for all these crazy kids we have. And so, we're going to TR Group in Alex City, and I'm going to get Michael to help me out because these are great people, and he's a great friend. And so, even from my perspective, if you're looking for a car, if you're sketched out the whole process and it gives you stress because car dealerships give me stress, Michael's a great guy. He's a great friend, so I know that he will take care of you and do the best that he can to give you the best price and everything you need. So check him out at trgroupalexcity.com. Linked in the description. Great people. So let me just jump into this real quick. I got half a battery. We're gonna make it, I promise. It's this past weekend. If you don't know this about me, I'm a youth pastor at the Summit Church Valley. We'd love for you to come hang out with us on Sundays at 11 o'clock, Wednesdays at 6:30. And Pastor Mark, he's the lead pastor. He's who was here last episode. So part of what I do as a youth pastor is I hang out with the youth. And so these are middle school through high school students. That's who the youth are. And so we hang out with them. On Wednesdays we have service, and then we have stuff throughout the week and all that. Well, this past weekend, I decided I was going to have like a little guys' youth night at the house. Had it planned. Here's what I was going to do. So the generation coming up now love YouTube. Like, it's YouTube. It's all about YouTubers. And I myself, I get hooked on YouTube a lot. My wife will tell you. I get hooked on YouTube. And so they know all about this whole boxing stuff. If you don't know, in the YouTube world right now, it started with a guy named Logan Paul and his brother named Jake Paul. They kind of jumped into boxing, and so then a lot of other YouTubers were like, well, I can do that. And so they're jumping to this boxing world. Now, most of them are kind of like hobbyists, like they're like, I don't know if hobbyist is the word. It's the hobby. They just box for the money and because I think they can beat people up. Well, Logan kind of took it a little further, and like he's supposed to be fighting Floyd Mayweather, which is crazy that Floyd would agree to fight him. But now Jake, he's kind of taking it even a step further, and I'm trying to catch y'all up. Jake now has declared himself a professional boxer. He's went through everything. And so this is what he's talking about pursuing now. Like, he's changing careers. Now he's a professional boxer. So he's had 3 easy fights. Like, one is amateur, 2 is a pro. 2 of them were against YouTubers, and 1 was a basketball player, Nate Robinson. So this past I think it was either the beginning of this year or the end of last year, he announced that he's fighting Ben Askren. Ben Askren was a UFC fighter. He's been retired. He's the one that got kneed in the head by Jorge Masvidal in like 5 seconds. What you need to know about Ben is Ben's not really, when you watch UFC, he's not a boxer. He's not a stand up and fight. He was an Olympic wrestler. He was a collegiate wrestler. He has a wrestling academy, which he teaches people how to wrestle. Like, that's what he does. He takes you to the ground and, does all that moves. So, not a boxer. Jake calls out Ben. Ben responds. They're going to box. So, anyways, it leads up to last Saturday night. So, all the guys was like, leading up to it, like, who you got? Jake Paul, Ben Askren, yada, yada, yada. So, I knew that they wanted to watch it. So, we bought the pay-per-view. $50. Okay? Didn't want to spend it. We spent it. $50. I have some of the guys over at the house. What in the world? Triller. First, I'm never buying another fight from Triller again. So I'm used to UFC pay-per-views where it's just like fight, commentary, fight, commentary, fight, commentary. There's not all this other stuff. You pay, and there's all these undercards in the main card, and that's a wrap. Yo, Triller, we spent $50 to watch a black screen. And now some of you are like, black screen, mine worked. Ours worked too, but we had to cut it off because of what was on the TV the whole entire time. I thought we were watching fights. Like, that's what I thought we were there to watch. So we turn it on. As soon as it comes on, there's like one fight immediately. I'm like, okay, we're watching some boxing. This is good. Then it goes into this whole, I don't even know what. Snoop Dogg pops up, all right? Half the time Snoop Dogg's on there, I had to have the TV muted because of Snoop Dogg. Him, he just, every other word is, a word I don't want he's used to hear, especially going home, telling their parents. So we had to mute it. And then there's supposed to be all these performances. So the performances I plan on muting because it was like Snoop, Ice, and all these people. There's going to be all this bad words and stuff. And so I was going to do all that. Yo, almost every performer had a group of girls coming out and dancing. They were about half naked. So we had to cut the TV off, and we spent most of the night, because if you watched the fight, if you bought it, most of the pay-per-view was nothing but the performances. There was not much boxing at all. And there's this stupid slap face where Ric Flair was like the officiant, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? The whole thing was kind of cringy to me and awkward. So performance would come on, we'd cut it off, and then we'd wait about 10 minutes, cut it back on. We'd see the girls like that, so we'd cut it right back off. You got to think, I've got middle school and high school boys chilling at my house, and this is on TV. So we cut it off, and luckily we had pizza and popcorn. We kind of hung out and just talked. But note to anyone, these YouTube boxers, especially if it's put on by Triller, don't buy the fight. It wasn't worth it. And then when it finally gets up to the main fight, like, I had hopes for Ben just from the fact that I thought he could take some punches. I wanted Ben to win. I didn't think Ben was going to win. But I didn't think it was going to go down like it went down. Oh, man. And so, first round, pay $50, about a minute or two in. Ben gets hit with a right, goes down. In the moment, I was mad. I was like, why didn't he just call that? And then after watching all these different angles, you kind of see him getting up wobbling. His feet weren't under him. So the fight's called. And then it's funny because you see, like, on Instagram, first off, you see Instagram like a minute after the fight's over. I could have went on there and watched who won it, watched the knockout, watched the fight, and not spent $50. So lesson learned. But then you see Ben just smiling, walking back with his wife like, hey, I don't care. I just made, $1 million or whatever to do this. So it was an eventful night, to say the least. And this is Triller, if you're listening. Make it more kid-friendly. We're trying to have a good night and watch with some people. We don't want to see all that nastiness. So it was kind of lame at that point. I was excited to watch it, and that's what happened. Whatever. Am I going to watch the Logan and Floyd if it ever happens? Maybe. I'm ready to see who Jake calls out next. He's already said a few people, so we'll see. But if you're not into that kind of stuff, then sorry for boring you for 9 minutes and whatnot. That's what happens. This one I don't buy fights. So, anyways, listen. So a few future episodes. Let me just kind of fill you up real quick. Few future episodes. So we're going to have Pastor Mark and Michael back on. It's going to be great, especially with the food thing. It's going to be like a little, like I said, a location podcast, probably at a special spot. can't give you the details. And they're going to cook it up and all that. It's going to be good. I've also got a buddy. I've already confirmed him. So, Ronald, if you're watching, I know you let me down, but we'll get you on eventually. But I got another buddy who is a YouTuber, and he's actually a fishing YouTube channel. And I think he's up to around 500-ish subscribers. And he grew up around here in Valley. His name's TJ, and you can look him up, TJ Stone, on YouTube. And so he's going to be on here. We're going to be talking about the struggles of being a creator because and I'll kind of jump into like a little bit of it now. It's hard doing this. One, you're filming yourself and putting yourself out on there for people to watch and listen to and critique everything you say. And you're sitting, like for me right now, I'm sitting with a camera staring at me. And it's kind of hard to feel comfortable doing this because you start to think in your head, like, who am I to think that what I wrote down on this computer and I choose to talk about that people actually want to listen to? And then you start putting it out there, and then you get in your head, like when there's not a lot of views on something, you're like, oh man, people didn't want to listen to it. And it's hard to say, I'm going to do another one, even when it was that one wasn't too productive. But actually, I'm reading a book right now called by Chad Veach called Help, I Work With People. And the chapter I just read yesterday, he was talking about that one of the first things you have to do is identify like a self dysfunction that you have, and as a preacher, which I relate to, was having confidence to stand up and speak and be like, why would people even want to listen to me? But it's really important your self-talk, because if you let the voice come into you that's always saying what you have to say isn't important, or what you're doing isn't important, or you don't add any value to anything, then you will let that voice always control your mind. But if you have positive self-talk and you work on that, and he was talking about, it's not just something that happens, like you've got to train yourself to do it. Like even right now, as I'm getting doing all this, I have to be telling myself, okay, what I'm saying is adding value to somebody. Because in the back of my head, I'm thinking someone out there may struggle with this just like I do. Like he said he struggled with it. He wrote a book on it, and then it helped me. And I'm sitting here telling you, like, if maybe you're wanting to jump into this whole creator world, or maybe just feel comfortable filming yourself and putting a video out there, but you're scared to do it, I would just encourage you to just go ahead and do it. Because one, it's fun. Like I enjoy doing this. It's fulfilling for me. Even if nobody watches, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. And so I know that there's stuff in here, and there's stuff in the previous 7 episodes that may be helpful to someone, may have helped someone. And for instance, I talked about it on the last 2 episodes ago when I preached a couple weeks back, is I felt like I had nothing to say up there, like I was completely lost. But that's the message where I had the most people coming up to me saying, man, this really helped me, this helped me, this. And it was just crazy to think that here I was thinking I didn't add any value to anyone, that I wasted everybody's time for 40 minutes. But God still was able to speak through me, and it touched people's hearts. And so, especially if you're wanting to be a creator and you're a follower of Jesus, I'd really, really encourage it, because in everything that we're doing, like everything I'm doing, this may not be branded as a Christian podcast or a Christian YouTube channel, but I'm building a platform slowly to where I can always push Jesus in everything I'm saying. Even behind the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight, I was able to tell the story. Tell you that we had to cut the TV off. Now, a lot of people are probably like, why would you do that? But it speaks to, our ministry, our youth pastor, that we're not okay with that stuff being in the house. And maybe that somebody would hear that and be like, oh, man, that's, maybe I should have stricter boundaries on, what my kids watch or what my kids listen to. And so it's great to be able to build this platform slowly. We're at 36 subscribers, trying to get to 100 and then anywhere from there. But it's fun. I would encourage you to do it. It's hard. It's discouraging, but you have to have that self-talk and tell yourself what you are doing and what you're saying is important, and it does add value. And whether you know it or not, I hope you know it, you do add a lot of value in every situation you're in. And every opportunity you are in, you are representing, if you're a follower of Christ, representing Jesus. No matter if you're sitting there talking about Jesus, or if you're just sitting there listening, or if you're just at dinner with some friends, or if you're out with people you don't know and they're acting wild, you are representing Jesus in everything you do. And we talked about in the last episode is that, the church, Pastor Mark was talking about being friendly and how he was a friend to Michael first, and then a spiritual relationship came, but it came first off being friendly. And the church needs to get a better grasp of this. It's funny, you'll see a lot of people say they're Christians, but they have some of the ugliest looking faces on them, like they're just staring at you mad. I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm saying the faces they make are. Retract. Edit that out. Just kidding. But if we could just be friendly first, a lot of people don't want to approach the church. A lot of people don't want to be friends with Christians because they think that we're just telling them they're wrong about everything. But if you would be friendly first and just be there for somebody, then they will be more willing to listen to what you have to say. Don't go up to somebody and just correct them, and then you're out of their life until they mess up again. Like, find somebody and be a friend to them. Show them that you actually do care about them. And then you're able to pour in. Because when you show somebody you care about them, their heart opens up a little bit. And you're able to pour into them spiritually and just in a positive way for them to see correction easier. I don't want somebody coming up and telling me that everything I'm doing is wrong. But I've built a relationship with Pastor Mark to where when he comes up and corrects something in my life, I know that it's the best for me, because before there's any kind of spiritual correction, before there's anything like that, he is a friend to me, and he legitimately wants what's best for me in my life. And I've told this before on here. He said several times that he could care less about the youth ministry part of all this. He wants first for me and my wife Katie, for our relationship and our marriage to be healthy. And so I know that that's what he cares about. And that's why everything he says to me about being a husband or a father, I value it, because before all that, at the base of it, the foundation is him caring about me genuinely as a person and my marriage. And so anything he says to me that could offend me or hurt my feelings doesn't, because I know he wants what's best for me. And so if we would just build relationships with people, if we could befriend people and just be there for them, right? A lot of people just want somebody there for them that they can call and listen to. They don't want you, and I'm just being honest, they don't want you shoving scripture down their throat. They don't want you telling them everything they're doing wrong, not right away. They want you just to listen to them and tell them that you care for them and be there for them. And then as that grows, then doors open to where you can jump into their life and share scripture that applies, and you can jump in and correct behavior, and no one gets hurt. But unfortunately, our religion, Christianity, is viewed negatively because of how mean we are. And that sucks. And I hate to keep saying religion, but a religion that's based off the Son of God coming down and sacrificing himself and dying for every single person. I think we forget that he died for everyone, but he died for every single person. And the love that he had to do that, right? The friend he had to be. What a friend we have in Jesus. The kind of friend he had to be to do that. That's what our whole idea of religion is based upon, is the sacrifice he made for us so that we can spend eternity with him. Like, what a friend that is. Somebody that's willing to give up everything they had or could have done just so that we could spend forever with them. And so that's kind of the whole basis of what we're here for. But unfortunately, we're viewed as the complete opposite. We're viewed as people that are just mean and mad and want to correct behavior. And nobody wants to be a part of that. Like, if I wasn't a Christian, if I want to follow Christ, if I didn't have a relationship with Jesus and I didn't understand this Christianity, and all I saw on Facebook was people arguing that say they're Christians, and all I saw online was the way people acted and things they said and how mean they were, I wouldn't want any part of that. And I know we can't correct everyone, and there's different thoughts and views out there, and not everybody shares the same view I have. So I know everything won't be like I see it. but I just want us to work on, let's be friendly. Like, let's be a friend, and then let's pour into people's life as we're being a friend, but they're going to receive it a lot better. Hey, my time's about up for this episode. All that was not even planned. We just jumped into it. I was going to talk about some other stuff, but maybe we can do that for the next episode. Real quick, make sure you check out everything we have going on. Follow me on Instagram, kcj.hall. You can subscribe to this channel. It helped me a ton. I have something super, super exciting work that I'm working on that I wish I could tell you about, but I can't yet because not everything is wrapped up and done. But it's gonna be super exciting. I can't wait to jump into it. And I told you about the shirts, the Be Still, the clothing. Follow us on Instagram for that, Be Still Clothing. You can look us up. Nothing's on there yet, but follow us because part of what I'm working on ties in a little bit to that. So that will be coming soon, hopefully. And we have a few drops already designed up. I worked with my friend Renald, and he has a line that I can't wait to get the shirts made because I want to wear them every single day. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, it says, I'll wait. So make sure you check out Be Still Clothing because once we get it up and running, that's where it's going to be coming from. Follow us on Instagram, I already said that, and check us out. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.